What is the best way to read and analyze stocks? How do I read and analyze stocks, guys? I want to show you in this video what I do to read and analyze stocks and how it became so much more easier for me, what I discovered later on in my journey. So what I learned is reading a bigger time frame. And you hear it all the time, but it takes a while to actually put it into action. You have to be looking at charts on bigger time frames. Look on the daily, look on the hourly, look on the 4 hour. I've been falling in love with the 4 hour chart. And guys, yesterday I said how there was a big chance this consolidation zone was going to be tested after we broke out of this zone, retested it. And obviously there were a few other key underlying factors that were kind of telling me, hey, we might get this big bounce. But this consolidation zone right here is what I marked out. I was saying this is where we're probably going to be headed to. Look at where we headed to, tested it to the penny, rejected. Obviously, right now I'll probably have to create another thesis on where the market may be headed. But this worked out to like a charm. And why did it work out like a charm? I had a bigger time frame thesis. I'm on the 4 hour, so levels are going to be respected a lot easier than, let's say, on a 1 minute. On a 1 minute, everything's kind of all over the place. It's quick, it's scalpy, everything's different on 1 minute, but it's always comes down to the bigger time frame thesis. So on the 4 hour, as you guys can see, we traded in this box. We broke out of the box, retested the top of it, then bounced. But also, if you look, I'll redraw it just so you guys can see it in live time. From the bottom to top, 50% retracement. Where does it lead to? Right here. We bounced right into it. We rejected or bounced right off of it. And to me, that's a strong signal. You know, the smart money is in this trade most likely if it's bouncing right off the 50% level. There's a lot of eyes, a lot of bulls in this trade. We ripped straight to the consolidation zone. And then right now, I mean, obviously, we don't know where the market may be headed. Obviously, in the morning, we'll see where it's at. Right now, it looks like we're rejecting, but it could possibly just be right back at this level in the morning. So we don't know yet, but that was kind of my plan. Hey, we're going to go straight to this level, and then let's reevaluate things. But that's how I'm reading price action. I'm looking at a bigger time frame, deciding what the thesis is, and then I'm going to be executing on a smaller time frame. But guys, that's helped me so much, and the reason is bigger time frames, the levels hold a lot more than the smaller time frames. For example, let me just break this down to you on a weekly. Look at how, if you go from lows to highs, I'm going to draw a fib. Where do we bounce? Right at the 50% level. How is it that we bounce straight to the penny right at the 50% level? What are the odds of that? Extremely low, but it's because smart money is looking at the bigger time frames. They're not looking at the 1 minute chart, guys. They're looking at the bigger time frames. The bigger time frames are what matter. You could look anywhere. And you could also look. You could look anywhere on where these things happen. Let's break it down on a different. Let's say I'm going on a daily chart, and I just want to show you guys because these things are so powerful. Let me get these indicators off of it. Let me break it down on a 4 hour. If you look to say, hey, where are these things bouncing? Where is this going to bounce? Let me see. Sorry, guys. Here to here. Where did we bounce? Let me get rid of these lines. Where did we bounce? We bounced right at this level. This is where we consolidated. Consolidated. Then we ripped. Where was it? 50% retracement. So that's why it's kind of it's more important to have bigger time frame in mind. If you can have a bigger time frame in mind, it's going to really help you look at charts cleanly. Obviously, you still have to know the patterns. Patterns are hard to understand. But look at the bigger time frame. Start trying to analyze a 4 hour. If I were you guys, just look at the price action on a 4 hour and say, oh, hey, and look at where the moves happen. That's another really key tip in mind. Where did the moves happen? Like box out where the big candles happen that created these insane trends. For example, right here. This was a massive, let me remove these charts. Where did the big candles happen that started these trends? Look at this. Look at this area. This area is where I'm going to be anticipating a bounce. This exact area is because this is where the big trends started to happen, right? Where did we dump from? Over here. We dumped from this area. So that's where I'm going to be looking for the rejection. That's kind of where I was like, hey, this is a consolidation zone. For example, it's like right here. This is a consolidation zone. Where did we bounce into? Right into that level, and that's where we ripped. So that's why I'm looking at those key areas. That's why I'm always looking at those key areas for the bounce. For example, right here, This was a consolidation zone before the big rip. Where did we go into? Right back into that candle. As you guys can see, we went right back into the candle. Obviously, we went underneath it a little bit, but that's where we bounced. That's kind of how I determine. For example, Tesla. I know we're going to bring in a completely different chart. Tesla, why did we bounce at this level? This is on a way, way, way bigger time frame. If you really look at it, where did this trend start? I could even go on the monthly. Where did this trend? And this is Tesla's a monster chart. Don't get me wrong. Tesla is a monster chart. But where did we bounce? If you really look at it, where did we bounce? You know, this was the consolidation zone. If you look, the last two red candles, where are we bouncing? Right in that zone. So that's why I'm looking, and look at how we bounce. Obviously, the 100 level, another big area. 100 level, you got a lot of things lining up. But where are we bouncing? That's the area where we're bouncing. I'm pretty sure if I also draw a fib, I would not be surprised if there was much more to it. Let's see. Maybe right here. This is probably, obviously we're underneath that 50% level, but at a point, if you looked, where did we bounce? That first initial bounce right here was at a 50% level once we ran all the way to these highs. Obviously, we broke through it and we dumped. So things are obviously, that's a little bit different, but I'm just trying to tell you guys, look at the bigger time frames. Look at where the initial big run-up happened. For example, where did the big run-up happen before on Tesla? It happened right here. This was the big run-up. Right here. This area was the big run-up. Before the big move, this was the big run-up. Where did we bounce? Right at it. Just always be looking at where did the big run-up happen. That's probably where the bounce is going to happen. That's why I'm saying right here. Where was the big run-up? Right here. Where's the bounce? Right in this zone. Guys, that's all I'm looking for. I'm just looking for where was the last big run-up? Where was the consolidation zone during the big run-up? That's probably where there might be some issues. As you guys can see right here, where did we dump from? This area, this consolidation zone. We go right into it, we dump back. Obviously, it's just little things like that. And obviously, if you have a bigger horizon, bigger thesis, it's a lot easier. You're not as stressed. You're able to take good trades with not having to worry. You're able to take the trade, not worry about it, because you know it's a bigger time frame trade. Obviously, I think that's the best way to get into trading is have bigger. If you're going to trade real money, obviously, not a financial advisor. You guys do this on your own. Risk your own money. You can lose. But I feel like that is one of the more simple ways to trade is looking at a bigger time frame, creating a good thesis, saying, hey, this level right here, it came from a big run up. I think if we retest it, I think that's a good spot to go long. Oh, or at least investing, it's a good spot to go long, whatever it may be, guys. So if you guys like this content, if you guys like this, please like it, share it with someone, subscribe. Hope you guys have a great day. Peace out.